This young Nigerian has returned to his hometown in Akwa Ibom State to do what he is most passionate about after experiencing life overseas. In a bid to not only tackle hunger and unemployment but also to pursue a passion and become one of Nigeria's largest exporters of agricultural products, he has turned his old farmhouse into an agricultural playground. Alongside the rest of his team at River Valley Farms, where without any real agricultural knowledge or experience, they tried their hands on bell pepper, chili, tomatoes and a few other vegetables. And the most interesting thing about his journey is that he learnt everything on YouTube.
Yeah, from YouTube, I can't even lie. YouTube, hours on YouTube, hours and hours and hours on YouTube. Like,
the success rate of his trial run was so good that it presented him with a new problem. He needed more space for his booming agricultural venture because what was supposed to be a small experiment grew into a farm with more than 2,000 plants.
this is just like, what would I say, like trial. This was really just trial, but it's supposed to be like a greenhouse.
Okay.
But during the trial, I planted way too many because I was thinking that if I plant 3 in a pod, maybe 1 will survive. Yeah, so, but all of them survived. So we just ended up with a whole bunch of plants. Yeah, so that was just trial to see whether I want to do peppers or tomatoes, to focus on which one is easier, which one is less stressful. So yeah, so far I'm leaning towards the pepper. Yeah, because like you can cut off waste because you can dry it if you don't sell it fresh, and you can process it into powder and still export that. You know, so there's a lot you can do with the peppers.
Agriculture currently makes up for more than 20% of Nigeria's GDP, and we are yet to scratch the surface in that sector. So please share this video with at least one person you know that's interested in agriculture and let them know that all the resources they ever need is on YouTube. I'd appreciate if you give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. This is Enobong Ebong, the man who learned farming on YouTube and is building River Valley Farms. Enobong did not have a degree in agriculture, but he had insight and a drive to succeed. His father was a patriotic Nigerian who wrote a book titled The War on Poverty in Nigeria. This is one of the major inspirations he had when setting up this farm, as the book touched on agriculture in up to 5 chapters.
This is what you are doing?
Yeah.
7 and 8.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11 has stuff to do with agriculture. So basically the whole idea of like the greenhouse, right, is to control temperature, to control, what's it called, the sunlight, right? So the sun doesn't like directly hit the plants. Yeah, so that's why we put up this shade. And for pests as well.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's one of the requirements for exports that the fruits and vegetables have to be grown in under covered environment, controlled, basically. Yeah. And then the watering will be done through irrigation pipes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take like 2 tanks that side, raise them up, and put all the fertilizers in the tank. So then we'll drip irrigation. And ideally, it shouldn't be this tight, right? But as I said, this was just a trial stage, and I planted way too many.
So what do you think is the major challenge for pepper farming in this area?
The major challenge for farming in general for the masses is lack of support, lack of funds, because farming requires money. Like, unless you want to depend on nature, the sun, the rain, and now with climate change, you can't really predict. You know, even in like rainy season, there might be 3 weeks of hot sun. You know what I'm saying? And that can kill your crops completely. So what do? So now you actually really need to invest in irrigation and insecticides. Like this pest control costs money. Yeah, so I think the biggest problem is money. But I just, like, I'm not 6 months in the game or 6 months in farming. How do I know? But from what I've seen and heard so far, it's a whole lot. Every day they need to be monitored, every day they need to be watered. And no one's going to work for free these days.
Yeah, you have to also pay the employees.
You have to pay the employees. And even if you say you have family, friends, you know, people that want to help you in the beginning, this thing takes 4 months. How dedicated would they be for 4 months every day?
Before they get the first results.
Before they get the first result. And then halfway, you might come one day like this, all your tomato, everybody's sick.
You have to get to work.
All the leaves are looking weak. You say you'll be tired for where to where. What happened now? Do you understand? So it's crazy. You really have to be patient. You have to be patient.
By looking at the leaves.
Looking at the leaves now, look at them. They are telling me something is wrong. So it's probably lack of water. You can see. That's why it's true. You literally have to come here every day and check on these guys, man. Because if you don't check on these guys, they'll say they have done it, but they've not done it. You know, that's why I thought it would be a business that I'll be flying from Lagos to here, but whatever, you can't do it like that too. You have to be here. Yeah. Because it's not easy. Trust me. Okay, like just this house now has like 2,000, let's call it 2,700 plants. Imagine watching 2,700 plants every day, 2 times a day. And you literally have to, your back alone. Or imagine pruning 2,000 plants one by one. So like a full harvest like this, you need to like each plant will take like 3 minutes. Or 1 minute 15 seconds, 1 minute 30 seconds.
So harvesting pepper is hand picking.
Is hand picking. So like imagine having like 5 acres now. You need like 50 to 100 people literally picking all day. So you create jobs for them now. The tomatoes, man. Tomatoes they go, but so far, like as I said, during this trial lesson, I'm leaning towards more to the pepper side, because even like as I said, what you can't export, you can sell it here, you can dry it, and you can process it. There's more to do with what you can't sell to export. But the tomatoes, if you don't sell it, after a while it gets bad, and like there's no processing factory around here, so there'll be more waste if I focus more on the tomatoes. But you never know how the future looks. But for now, I'm going to focus on peppers 100%, at least. And I've not seen anybody doing pepper here. I've heard of some people trying to do some pepper things. The last governor here was trying to he tried to do some greenhouses, but that didn't work out. So let's leave the pepper for the tomato for him. Let's just find out. Okay, we're doing pepper for exports. Let's see if we can make Akwa Ibom on the map for exporting pepper.
So far, like a rough sketch, how much do you think you
I can't even say, because I'm not keeping tabs, which is wrong. But I'm not keeping tabs. I'm just doing it. I don't feel it because it's still trial and error now. So I'm not really putting tabs. It's not like I'm looking for a return on investment for this point. I'm just learning, and I've gotten that knowledge. It's like school fees I've paid. If something comes out of it, it's a bonus, but I've learned the lesson.
Victor Chimeze. I am a graduate of University of Uyo. I studied the Animal Science, Faculty of Agriculture. So cropping and animals are the basics of agriculture. Although I ventured into crop production, vegetable to be precise. Although it's not that I'm not still practicing animal science, I still have a fair knowledge on that. But this is just to widen up broaden my knowledge on agriculture. This is olericulture, that's the cropping of vegetables, and these ones are fruity vegetables. That's the tomatoes, the peppers, and what have you. Although the leafy ones are still there, but this area, tomatoes and peppers are not much cultivated in large quantities because of land fragmentation, and also having the idea on how to go about it. So this is just an opportunity for us to work on it as a pilot project, so that we can move over to bigger projects. So as we have seen here, this is a success for us, because we didn't really understand, we didn't really think it would be like this because of how maybe the nature of the soil and everything, but we had to put so many things into consideration with aspect of the agronomic aspect, the agronomic practice of tomatoes. We have to follow it step by step, and today the tomatoes are actually doing well. At a point, we faced infestation of white flies, so that was why we came about the idea of constructing a greenhouse, because a greenhouse is like a microclimate that will help to regulate the movement of all these pests and what have you. So as at this stage of flowering and fruiting, there is no problem, once you are watering morning and evening, applying the pesticides with intervals 3 to 4 days, and the thing will just grow very well. So that's just it. Just like agriculture is precision. So you have to take time, you have to do everything at a particular time, because if you don't do it, you might face losses or you might face damages. So that is just the secret behind agriculture. So that's it, and most especially tomato production.
Do you encourage more youths to get into agriculture?
Yes, definitely. There's so much agriculture has to offer, of which it's already offering. Because look at the setting now. This is just kind of a house, farmyard house. So when you plant, what you plant is what you eat. So if you don't plant, you will not eat. You have to do what you have to buy. So if every youth or Nigerian youth imbibes this culture of trying to sow a seed, because when you sow a seed, the seed will germinate, and at the time of harvest you eat. Even the Bible says, whatever you sow is what you reap. So now, if we can just get these things done, little by little, the sustainable development goals of the United Nations will be reduced to barest minimum. So that's just it. So most of people start with small scale, backyard, 1 plot, 2 plots, whatever. Just put your work, do your research, and it will definitely be a success. So I encourage you to go into agriculture.
Kind kitchen, do it up and just do farm cooking shows and whatnot.
Enobong also touched on how farming can help boost tourism in Akwa Ibom State. He intends to open up his farmhouse to tourists from around the world for cooking shows and farm-to-table experiences. Super pumped about the results of his first harvest, Eno will be moving operations to a 2.5-acre farmland behind the house, where he will be going all in on pepper and most likely ditching tomatoes due to its perishable nature. Enobong Ebong's zeal and dedication is a complete representation of the true Nigerian spirit, and I can't wait to see the bumper harvest he will be making from here. Just like Enobong, I started my channel because I am passionate about sharing African stories, and I had zero knowledge about video creation and making videos, and had to learn a lot of that on YouTube. Crude oil is already out of the reach of the ordinary man, but agriculture is where anyone with a piece of land can begin to make impact almost immediately. Follow up a River Valley Farms progress on Instagram. I'll leave their link in the description below. And if you need to shop and ship items from the US, UK and China to Nigeria, reach out to the Middleman Consults. I'll leave their link in the description below as well. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel, as we will be talking to more startups and small businesses on the channel in the nearest future. Keep spreading positivity, and I'll see you on the next one.